Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite written Rit Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, Apple Bites, where we take a bite out of the apple and share it with you. All the good stuff we got going on over here. And of course, today we got Kalei, Sebastian, and Spencer.
Hello.
Hey.
I was like, we got delayed.
Yeah, no. I just don't know how to
Quiet.
say hi, I guess.
We are
All right,
here.
let's stick you guys up here. Much better. There you go. Folks, we got a great show for you today. It is going to be a lot of fun. We got some beautiful art from Kalei over here. We got this incredible Kickstarter that's kicking ass right now, and I can't wait to hear all about it. And of course, Sebastian is on the co-hosting duties.
Yeah, I made a left turn at Albuquerque. That's how I ended up here. Sorry.
It's that dang rabbit. He's always sending people the wrong way.
Remember, tricks are for kids. So Spencer, Kalei, welcome to the Bit and Apple.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for
We
having
look
me.
crazy here, but we have fun. So I'm going to start off with you, Spencer, because I figure you're going to need a little moment to explain a bunch of stuff and give them your spiel and all the good stuff. So let them know who you are, all the good stuff, and give them the spiel.
Sure. Yeah, well, first off, thanks for having me. Super pumped to be here. I'm Spencer Reichley, the lead game designer for Budstuff Games. And we've got a superhero tabletop RPG live on Kickstarter right now. We crushed our goal day one, under 10 hours we funded. And we just passed our first stretch goal like an hour ago. So riding high off that right now. It's So We Can Be Heroes is the name of the game. It's a fast, fun, and explosive tabletop RPG experience. You can build a superhero from the ground up, choosing from a number of different superhero archetypes, and then like subclasses underneath that. Then we've got secondary powers, auxiliary powers, innate abilities, a bunch of stuff to really round out the superhero building process. And then where it really comes to life is the public merit system, where you can create whole campaigns, structure, sessions, just one-offs or full campaigns, just based on different segments of the public eye. We've got a scientific community, government, media, the underground, if you want to go full Punisher style, But yeah, it's super flexible and super fun, and we're just absolutely pumped right now to be where we're at.
So I just want to harp in on, for all those who are watching and listening, funded under 10 hours, which congratulations, by the way. That's phenomenal.
That's
and
amazing.
this tells people to, as you're looking at it, look at that amount that's been pledged, guys. That means that all you're doing now is helping to get those stretch goals. Now that means that this is something guaranteed it's already met its goal. So I know that a lot of people are always afraid of pledging to Kickstarters because they're afraid of this has met its goal in under 10 hours. So this is just your hands if you're watching this right now. So go ahead and pledge. I mean, what's that you have coming up with this Kickstarter, and what can people expect with the additional stretch goals that you have?
Yeah, sure thing. The first stretch goal that we just met. So that's going to be 5 additional superpowers in the book and 50 additional enemy stat blocks, which is crazy. We probably should put that a little later because that's a whole lot of work, play testing and everything like that. But we're confident we can knock that out, especially those 50 enemy stat blocks. We've got a good system in place and some creative minds on our development team that are just absolutely crushing those. And then we just unlocked the second one. So if we make about $2,000 more, we're going to commission our additional 15 pieces for superpowers and enemies. So we're going to get some more artwork in the book. Already tons of it in there. You can see on the page, a lot of our illustrations are, we use them for promotional materials and stuff, and those will be just all over the book. Some stuff that's not there as well. That one that you're scrolling past right there is probably my favorite piece that Max has done. Just selecting your superhero outfit for the day. I mean, it just speaks volumes to what the game's all about.
It definitely does. It kind of reminds me of a video game, but on paper.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you put it as I pictured like the White Room in the Matrix, where you're selecting your stuff. So yeah, that's all right. You're hitting
I
it.
just hear the character creation screen whenever I'm playing a video game. That's what it's looking at for me right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a great
They're
way.
dancing. Da, 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 da. What are we gonna put on this character?
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's the spiel. You can find out more. Just search "We Can Be Heroes" on Kickstarter. You can find us on social media too: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Yeah, let me know if you have questions about the game specifically. I mean, I'm happy to dive into it as well.
I have
So-
to say and give you credit because your the way you're putting it out there is really working for you because I found this, it just hit me. It showed up on my radar, and I'm like, I need to dive here. I need to check this out.
You hit me up, out of nowhere. I was like, yeah,
your campaign's working.
That's good. Yeah, we've got an awesome team. We've got 6 guys working at Budstuff Games. It's just me and 5 of my D&D buddies from back in the day, and we I started building this game out, and I was like, you guys want to start a company? Just like dedicate all the free time we have outside of all of our full-time jobs to creating something special.
So, as someone who is funded with the Kickstarter, you were working at Kickstarter and everything. What have been some of the challenges that you found with working with Kickstarter, and advice that you would give to people who are looking to go out there and start their Kickstarter? Some pointers and everything.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So some of the challenges we've faced are just, I think it's a huge learning curve. We've never done a Kickstarter before, so finding all the resources that are out there that kind of teach you how to do it.
Yeah.
And best practices. Some advice: seek out indie game networks. We're part of the IGDN, Indie Game Developer Network. Shout out to them. They without them, I don't think this would be possible. It's just a huge network of people who have done this time and time again, both succeeded and failed at crowdfunding, at starting a publication or a publishing company. So with their guidance, we've found our printer. We've got some distributors in mind, and we've got access to conferences that we are going to go and meet, like distributors and pledge managers. It's there's so much that goes into it. So
I mean, to fund on your first attempt, that's amazing. So that's great.
Yeah,
that's an accomplishment in itself, man.
Thank you. Yeah, that was we thought we were going to fund. I mean, the marketing strategy that we put together was we thought was pretty sound, and we did a bunch of math and analytics. Again, we're a bunch of nerds, so that's so many spreadsheets went into this. And we were confident we would fund, within the 28 days we have. To do it in 10 hours was just mind-boggling.
I feel like you've taken real good care into making this feel very comic book, very even the book itself has that comic book feel to it. It doesn't feel like, oh, here's a superhero RPG. It feels like, hey, look, this comic book has a superhero RPG.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It also feels extremely complete. It feels like without knowing about just looking at it, it looks like everything is. It just looks like like a complete package. So I could see it funding really quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, with our illustrator, I keep mentioning him. So again, shout out to Max Bear. You can check out his other work at maxbearart.com. But without his vision on the on the branding here, I mean, I don't think we'd be anywhere near where we are now. He's a childhood friend of mine. Our parents actually played, or our dads played music together back in college.
Oh my
Me and Ralph's parents.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We were in a band. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just, and we grew up, being friendly, and I always saw him drawing and followed his work closely. And then once I started designing this, I was like, he's the only one that could do this for us. He's the only one who's going to complete my vision.
I think you picked great because, like Tate says there, the art is very dynamic.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. It's weird. It's wild. It's that Saturday morning cartoon
exactly
kind of vibe. It's so cool.
So this is so obviously RPG game, board game. And I know you've mentioned you've played Dungeons and Dragons, and knowing that there are a lot of different systems out there for role playing games, some friendly, not so friendly. How much play testing did you guys put in to make sure to put in something that's very friendly for people to pick up?
So much, and we're still playtesting. We haven't stopped yet.
That's the fun part.
Yeah, it is the fun part, really. And with all the Kickstarter stuff, I kind of miss really diving into the mechanics over the last 2 months. I've just been really focused on getting the Kickstarter right. So we get to start playtesting heavily again, basically next week. But it's every week, sometimes twice a week. We meet for 4 hours and just really dig in. We've got a Discord channel that we just, we're constantly in there just throwing around ideas. We ran demos and stuff at local shops and conventions to try to get feedback from other people. And we had just total strangers play. We put the play test out there for free. When we were starting off, we were trying to build our email list. So that's something that was like, hey, get a free copy of this game right now as is. Just give us your email address. And we got
that's a good way to do it.
Feedback on it. Yeah. I mean, it was like, do we give the game away for free? Well, it's not complete. It wasn't complete, and it worked out really well.
That's kind of like an alpha beta phase. I like that. That's dope.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I love the sheet. Looks really easy to understand. I know some of the superhero games that I've played. Character creation alone sometimes takes a long time.
Yeah, that's something we wanted to steer away from. I mean, you look at the other superhero games out there, Mutants and Masterminds, Champions games.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah, those are fantastic games in their own right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're top-notch superhero games, and we didn't want to copy them. We wanted to do something different because I looked at the character creation on that, and I was just, I can't do that. That's a lot. It looks really cool, but I wanted to keep it simple. For the most part, there's still some complexity to the system that allows a lot of really cool dynamic uses of superpowers.
Now, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask those. So when someone picks up the game, they start playing. Does it also allow them that ability of customization for their stories to progress further? Like if they want to evolve abilities and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's a 20 level system. So 20 hero levels, we call them. And throughout, those levels, you're gaining things. So you start off level 1, building your hero from level 1. It's okay, level 1, it's going to take you 30 minutes to build your hero, probably just from the sheer amount of choices that you have, maybe longer, depending on how indecisive you are. Then levels 2 through 20, the decisions you make are going to be a lot quicker. But level 1, you're choosing your superpower, an origin, a hero trait, and an innate ability. So it's you get to craft your hero story based on some set choices. We've also got a custom option as well. We call mutation. So you roll on a random table, and it tells you your origin. But based on that, you can shape a whole campaign around your hero's story, your super teams coming together. It's been really fun playing through full campaigns.
It really sounds like you sat there and you guys actually thought through the whole thing, because sometimes I feel like people start these role playing games and they're like, we didn't think about that, but it actually feels like you sat there and said, no, we need to think about this before you put it out there.
Something's gonna pop up. I know we're still playtesting. Something else is gonna pop up and be like, oh crap, gonna happen, and we'll fix it.
So I usually like to ask creators what was their origin story for how they all formed together to make Voltron. So how did you and your entire team, how did you guys meet? I know for some people I've heard it's been through D&D, other people at conventions. So how did you guys meet and then finally sit down and just you know what, this is what we want to do, let's go?
I mean, like I said, we were D&D, we were like a D&D group. And we would get together weekly, run through campaigns, and then I moved away from where our D&D group met, I met two of the other guys. I had known them before, like as acquaintances, and we started playing D&D. Became best friends. So then I brought all of them together for different variations of D&D or role-playing games, and then once I started building this out, like I asked them to come on board. They were all very good friends of mine and all very skilled in certain sectors that would really lend themselves well to a successful creative project.
I gotta say, I love this whole thing, and we've come into I actually seek them out, but we've come across a lot of creators who started off like
Stalk them
there was a
around.
bunch of guys in D&D. There's a bunch of guys playing D&D, and we did this, and I've seen a video game where they took their whole campaign and put it in, made it into the video game, or they've taken their campaign and made it into a comic book, or they've taken their campaign and made it into a campaign because it was a homebrewed world. I really love this, and I feel like time has allowed this to happen, because before this would never have happened.
Yeah. The pandemic played a huge part in allowing me to get this going. I mean, I started working from home. My old job, luckily my new job, I'm a lot busier and can work at home just fine. But my old job was just like, wow, everything's shut down in 2020, and that allowed me to just maybe I'll just build a superhero game. Why not? Yeah.
I'm still part of a campaign that's been going since 2020 of February before the
Nice. That's awesome. Long running campaigns are the best.
Oh,
Everything's shut down. We're gonna play.
Yep.
So here's a fun question. So after Heroes is done, the board game, the RPG, is there a villains follow up?
Everybody asked that, and we definitely thought about that. It's we're throwing around different expansions and stuff. They Can Be Villains is the name we've been throwing around. I think that's fun. We Can Be Heroes.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of stupid, but
no, that could be like a play on the song.
Exactly. Yeah. They can be villains. Yeah. So that's definitely something we're throwing around. We want to get into cosmic superheroes too, and then the magic too, good magic, kind of Doctor Strange-y, Midnight Suns kind of thing.
I always had a joke.
Yeah.
I always had a joke character called the Silver Burper. So
hell yeah, that's awesome.
I can see that.
He's got to fly backwards. He propels himself with his burps.
There you go.
Try the other side, man.
Oh man, that's fantastic. I really do like what you've put together. Like I said, as soon as I was scrolling along and I ran into your sponsored stuff that showed up on my feed,
yeah,
I was like, "What the heck is this? Let's check it out."
Yeah, we've put out a good amount of ads, so I mean, chances are a lot of people have seen those if you're into the tabletop gaming scene on social media, and I mean it goes a long way when you're. So there's another piece of advice for anybody trying to put together a Kickstarter. I mean, use the meta ads. It's a pain in the ass to figure out, but but they do work most of the time. They do provide results.
And I want to point out too, you guys cut a really good commercial. I think that's another thing people need to pay attention to too, because that's part of the advertisement. Because you throw a commercial out there and it doesn't hook people in. I mean, you're just putting something out there in the ether, and it looks like you guys put a lot of work on that commercial to really get the message across, kept it simple, and it delivers what people needed to see with this Kickstarter. So congratulations again.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, shout out to our guy Smiley on our team. Me and him do a weekly superhero news review show called We Can Talk Heroes. Yeah. And he edits all of our videos and stuff, and he did an incredible job on this. We sat around and went over the script tirelessly for.
Now that you mentioned that, I'm happy you did mention it, because I feel like that's helping you out too. Because I keep running into that too. I ran into it without you telling me about it. Like, what's this?
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm like, hey, let's check this out. So I played it, and it's good because it's like getting information and getting geek. Hey,
Ooh, Ralph, you're in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Probably.
Well,
It's like getting information.
1980 is calling you that, right?
Oh, I do that on purpose because that ringtone annoyed me when I was a kid. So.
Ghostbusters.
So you're saying I should call you all the time now?
Oh my God! Yeah, it does remind me of the Ghostbusters phone. I can't wait to see what you do with this. I'm happy that you guys have funded and you guys are going in the right direction. Your next stretch goal I think is 16,000.
Yeah. So hopefully we reach that. I'm confident we will. At least we're going until March 19th, so I think we got some time to kind of put that together.
Yeah, you still got 21 days, folks.
Yeah.
And if you like superhero stuff, and you want to be doing some role playing, this is the way to go. Come on.
Come on, guys. It's fully funded already. All you're doing now is getting all the cool extra stuff.
Exactly.
Do it.
Get some more artwork. Put Max to work.
And I can see that you guys. I don't know. To me, it feels like both Sebastian and Tony are saying it feels like we're not coming in the middle of something. We're coming in where something you guys have worked on it, and you guys are at the end results of it. Even if you do need to do some more play testing or stuff like that, it doesn't feel like this is a half-assed thing. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. What does Ron Swanson say? Don't half-ass something, whole-ass something.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, gotta go for. I wanted to make sure. We were originally going to launch this back in November, and we decided as a team, like, no, we're not ready. Let's push it back. We wanted to make sure that we were in the right place to push this forward. So we're super confident that we're going to deliver an awesome product. I mean, we're just super excited.
And I appreciate you sharing that, because that's something I think a lot of people do need to hear when they're launching a Kickstarter, is that, you don't need to rush it. You want to make sure it's right to launch. Like, obviously, Jake Parker said, finished but not perfect. But with this, if you're going out there and you're going to invest that time to advertise and everything, you want to make sure that you have all your ducks lined up. So, I mean, appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah,
of course.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I see that you've figured out a D20 system type of thing.
Yeah, it is very similar to like 5e, the D20 system at 5e with talent checks instead of skill. I mean, we call them talents instead of skills, but we do things a little differently. Superpower attacks always hit, and that's not using a D20 anymore. That's just actually levels 10 through 20 you do use a D20, but we got like a specialized thing, so it always hits. It's a D12 plus a superpower dice, which is unique to your superpower, and then a modifier called Moxie. We found using a superpower in a tabletop game and then missing was just like, this sucks. I wasted my whole turn. Just like this. What do we do about this? So we made sure that they always hit. It's just a huge swing in damage. It could be 5 damage, or it could be 22. So it's just like, how well does it hit? But then weapon attacks, gadget attacks, those are still that like attack roll with the D20 against a defensive threshold, AC, like armor class kind of thing. So we wanted to keep it familiar but fresh.
That makes it more dynamic, because it feels more like a battle that's actually happening. If the superpowers are flying and they're hitting, it's just depending on how badly they hit. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
That sucks in video games when you do a massive attack and the ball and the guy when you're playing an RPG and you do like a massive attack and the guy just goes whoop, miss. I'm like, what?
I can't stop playing Baldur's Gate 3 right now, and every time I try to use inflict wounds with Shadowheart at like level 3, I'm like, come on, and I miss. I'm like, what do you do? Oh, come on.
This is made for some funny moments too.
Yeah,
those misses have made some really funny moments.
My favorite is when they're dodging like 10 points and all of a sudden they start dodging everything. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Agent Smith. You can kneel in the game.
Speaking of failures, we make failures really fun too. We got a mechanic called the hero's moment. So when you roll like a nat 1, mistakes, right? Like, they should be learning from their mistakes. So you roll on a D12 table. and there's a whole bunch of things that happen. They're all like good things that you can save. You can bank them. If you roll a 12, it like uses a superpower at level 5 without costing anything. Like, so it's great. It's really fun to fail in our game.
Well, usually what happens in the D&D games is what you remember the most are the memorable one rolls.
Yeah. Critical.
Oh, trust me, I got a lot of those.
Yeah.
I got a lot of those.
That's why I don't bet in Vegas.
I tell people all the time, I when I'm rolling as a player, I roll ones. As a DM, I'm the most dangerous person on the planet.
Listen,
Oh,
best
man.
advice: if
Yeah.
you're gonna fail in a role playing game, fail spectacularly.
Yeah.
Make it memorable.
I was running a demo this past Saturday at a local shop, and there's a kid playing. He was probably 10 years old, and I just kept rolling so good. I was just absolutely beating him up. I'm like, I'm sorry, kid. I'm not trying to pick on you. I swear.
I'm not usually this good.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm saying, though.
like, you're gonna learn today.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying though. When I'm usually the DM, I gotta find dice. I actually gotta look for a dice that will roll a certain way. I don't feel like I want to kill people.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I'm
Get
the
bad
opposite.
dice.
I'm George R.R. Martin. There we go. Nah, just play.
Yeah, Gage is saying that one's a story fuel.
For that.
Hey, Gage.
Oh man. All right, so Kalei, let's hit you up and see what you're all about and all the beautiful things, because this art has to be shown off. Go for it, Kay.
I guess I don't know. I don't normally know where to start off, other than like I'm hella young. I just turned 20, so it's like coming into a comic book realm where like people who have been doing this for years. I'm like, dang, I don't know half the stuff you're talking about. But yeah, I've been drawing for a really long time. I didn't take it seriously until like high school, and then I got into FIT. It's a fashion school up in Manhattan. So I study illustration there. Yeah, and on my free time, I started going to conventions. That post right now with Tom McFarlane. Oh my god,
that's a moment for anybody, girl.
So I had just like that night before, I had just seen his documentary. I think it was like called "Why the Hell Not." And when I was watching, I was like, yo, I love this guy. Like, I'm so sorry. I know it's gonna hurt a lot of hearts, but like I never like got into like Spawn, or I didn't know who he was like 2 years ago. And then like my dad starts talking to me about it, and I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like I didn't know like who his character was. I didn't know his personality or anything like that. So the night of, I found out that I was going to New York Comic Con to vend there. And I was thank you. So I stayed up and I drew Spawn because I'm like, if he's gonna be there, like I want to see him. I want to show him like a piece, even if he doesn't sign it. So I waited on that line for like 10 minutes, just waving the dang drawing around. And one of the guys that was working there, he saw me and he pulled me over. And then Todd just like sat there and like looked through it, gave me advice on it, and then he signed it. Actually, yeah, it was pretty awesome. But yeah, aside from that, like I don't know, it was like after meeting somebody who has been doing comics for such a long time, and then veered off of like the typical track of like Marvel and DC and did his own stuff. I'm like, I want to do that. Like I want to go ahead and like make my own franchise and like start my own like comic book stories and all that. So that's like the main goal, honestly, is just to. I'm a huge like Spider-Verse. I don't know if you guys seen Arcane yet.
Yep, Arcane is beautiful. It's beautiful animation.
Beautiful, yeah.
Oh yeah,
This made Jinx my favorite character.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
amazing.
I crave that stuff, like that 2D like cyberpunk animation. I love it, and like I hope to like one day mix that with music. I love music, and like I don't know, something about like making animated music videos and like having each album be a different chapter of the story, and you follow the characters throughout. Like I that's the dream goal right there.
Two awesome Hellfire Club, by the way, but 2 animated videos that definitely was Todd McFarlane that got to help animate it was Corn Freak Unleashed.
Oh my god!
And he also did Pearl Jam's Do the Evolution. So if you're ever looking for those are beautiful animated music videos, and I think those are going to be up your alley, especially with Todd McFarlane.
bring me back with the Freak on a Leash.
Oh, Freak on a Leash, dude, man, I had that playing on repeat.
I'm gonna need the names one more time. One more time.
Corn, Freak on a Leash, and then Pearl Jam's Do the Evolution.
Got it. Yeah,
Freak on a Leash is easy to find.
Got
That
it.
is a great video, though, dude. And the breakdown
Do the
of
Evolution. Do the Evolution is gonna blow your mind away with what he did with the animation with that, and just the story that he's telling you about evolution with Pearl Jam just playing in the background. It's one of my hype songs whenever I'm drawing.
I don't know. It's so, because I know like music is such a huge inspiration for artists. Yeah. So I'm like, yo, imagine mixing that with the actual drawings themselves and like just one like blob of gloriousness. Anyways, yeah. But right now I'm just doing conventions because I'm still young and like it's a huge industry. So I'm just trying to get my name out there in any which way I can. Yeah, so that's where I met you at, what was it?
At Garden State Comic Fest.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that was.
Believe me, I know what you're dealing with because you're already doing conventions, so they all start to mix into each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gage wants to know: do you write your own stories?
Yeah. So I actually have two personal stories. I haven't like released any information about them yet because I'm still kind of like in that brainstorming phase. But I am interested in mixing like Christianity and like the Bible stories, but then as if they were happening in today's day, because I know it's like really hard to like connect with like stories that happened like hundreds of years ago. It's like no, I mean Moses splitting the Red Sea, like what the hell, huh? How? So I'm like, but there's like so many lessons there that are taught that I'm like, people could really use that like now, like in today's day. So just trying to find a way to merge it too, because I know at my age I'm like, dang, I wish they had like some really like sick Christian like show that was like, you know, it had the violence, it had the gore, it had the romance and action and drama, but it was good at its core, you know. Right. So yeah, that's the kind of story that I'm trying to write right now and hopefully produce and all that.
It's funny, I have it in my collection somewhere. It's not here. I actually got the Bible in comic format. So there's
me too.
Yeah, I got one too.
Yeah, Bible. I think I just have it.
Tate says, gotta have background music while working. Yep, I'm a big music fan. I always have stuff playing. And Gage is like, truth that. Truth Tate. Yeah. Dude, your art is just beautiful. How long have you been working on this? I love the post that you put up recently showcasing, this is me in 2015.
I actually got the poster up on my wall. It was like just like a hobby, just to pass time. And then around high school, like that's when I met my stepdad. He was a huge like comic book guy. And so he was like, why don't you try drawing this character? Why don't you try drawing this? And I think like the first character was like Spider-Man or something. And then yeah, like afterwards, like my parents are also big comic book people. So they'll go to conventions and they'll like start talking to the artist, like, oh, my daughter's an artist and this, that, and third. And they met an artist by the name of Will Torres, and he was doing some yeah. So he was doing some stuff for Marvel and like doing his own like independent stuff, and he was willing to like teach me and then like invite me to New York Comic Con. That's how I got there. And then after that, I was like, oh snap, like I could actually do this. So I went into FIT and then started taking illustration classes. Actually, fun fact, I found out because at Garden State Comic Fest, I was tabling next to Keith Williams.
Keith was awesome.
I found out my professor worked for Keith Williams at the time, and like they were friends. I was like, oh wow, it's a small world.
Yeah, Keith is a really awesome guy.
Oh, he's
really
amazing.
quick. Someone had you draw Spider-Man first, so just throwing you to the wolves, man. Those webs. Not even like easy you in like, oh, here's a Flash. It's just a Spider-Man drawing a million webs. Wow.
Listen, Spider-Man is a testament, but I love your inking work that you're showing on that sketch cover. Again, just the detail alone that you're bringing out with over the pencils. So you have a very fine eye for detail and everything. And just want to again just commend you on your art style and everything.
Thank Thank you.
It
Yeah,
does definitely stand out.
thanks. I adore ink. I try to avoid color as much as possible.
Spoken like a true artist. There we go.
Exactly.
Hey,
Oh yeah. Mhm. But yeah, ink definitely is my favorite medium. I don't know, there's just something so nitty and gritty about it. I mean, you can't get it anywhere else. Like I just got a tablet and I'm like, it's nothing compared to like traditional stuff. Like I can't, the feeling is different. I don't know. But yeah, so like
no, it's because like with the
mhm.
with and I could send you to Sammy Castillo, who
Yeah.
does some very beautiful ink art and everything. She again, so say the same thing. It's like, just getting down there, the nitty gritty. Like I do a lot of digital work myself, but
Mhm.
there is something that, when you're doing that traditional throwing them inks, it's like Bob Ross used to say, happy accidents.
Yeah.
Every line has a meaning and everything. So it's like,
Mhm.
again, looking at your detail just on Raven right there, the way you capture with the hairstyle, the highlights,
Yeah.
it just has that beauty that just pops out, and again,
Yeah.
it's just phenomenal.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember the Raven. I drew that thing on like a freaking like 15 by 20 drawing board, and I don't have a table. Like, I don't have space, so I put it up against my sister's bunk bed, and I was standing the whole time just drawing. Gotta make do with what you got.
Look
uh,
at this. Ah,
that
wow.
was for my class. That was actually the guy who worked for Keith Williams. He noticed that I don't do a lot of bodies or like just environments in general. So he was like, "Hey, I want you to try and draw like a full-on environment, draw the full bodies." So we had to do like a cover spread for a book, and I chose The Great Gatsby. It was nice. That's also on like a 15 by 20 board.
No,
Yeah.
you rose up to the chance, and that's it. One of the advices I could definitely like toss at you, because that's it, and it's
Mhm.
great that he did that. Because a lot of times as artists, you're always going to draw body pictures. You're
Yeah.
always going to draw like your favorite characters, but a lot of times when you get into those environments, there's a moment when you're getting that detailed environment, and let me know if this happens to you, get into like the Zen moment where it's just you get carried away, and it's like it was good that they told you to do that. It's something even as an old artist myself, I find myself just get lost in those things. So that's just looks beautiful. I love the detail that you got around right there with the Great Gatsby with the names,
Yeah.
and
That's
it
Mhm.
beautiful.
just shows that you get really lost in this image. Even the detail on the curtains on the top right there with the
Yeah.
chandelier.
Oh,
Hmm.
that was so much fun drawing.
Just put layers and depth to it. It's a really good. It's
Whew.
awesome. It's a great
Thank
piece.
you. Yeah, that gotta be my like not safe haven, but there's just that one part of drawing like you just draw and you're like, oh, that feels good right there. Like that was that.
And people only at 22. That means that when Kaylee hits my age, she's gonna be freaking phenomenal. Come on,
Exactly.
give her to follow on Instagram.
Yes, please.
Damn.
Thank you. Yeah.
I love the process. I'm guessing you made that sign on your own back there.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh, that was so terrible. I was
It
around the
doesn't
time.
look terrible to me.
No,
So
don't even do it. Like, so we're always gonna be our own worst critics. We're always
yeah.
gonna hate our own work. And you see a lot of us are like we're loving it, but we're always gonna hate our own work.
Mhm.
Scott Barnett was another artist, budding artist. He was my inspiration for getting into comics when I went to Comic Con, so I know the feeling and everything. And learning from it's like, yeah, we're always going to be our worst critics. And you see it, just put it out there. Jake Parker said, "Finished but not perfect." You
Mhm.
work on a piece, you just get it out there. Just and honestly, just keep having fun
Yeah.
with it. That's
Mhm.
that's just continue to do it because it's just your work is just phenomenal. You get again at 20. I'm like, I wish I was there at 20.
I mean, it's so subjective. Like you can work on a piece for like an hour, 2 hours, and someone will look at it and say, "Wow, this is like the best thing I ever seen," and you
Yeah.
you just leave it at that. You don't say, "Yeah, well, I was half asleep when I did it." You just let them have it. And it's
Yeah.
something you can work on something hours and hours and hours. I'm like, you know what? I don't like this. That's it's so subjective.
Here's the
Yeah.
one thing I've learned, and
Mm.
it's even true at writing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You
It's a
throw it
form
out
of all that.
there, and people
Yeah.
go, "Oh my God, look at this, look at that." It's so amazing how you made the blue curtain blue and the symbolism of this and that and that and this. And in my mind, I'm like, Blue's my favorite color.
Yeah.
You just shake your head and nod like, yeah,
Yeah,
that was my
just
thought
let 'em,
process.
Yep.
just let 'em have it, man.
Gage is saying a lot of times the environments are a huge deal when, as a writer, I'm looking at someone's art. Too many artists are character only. That's true. That is very true.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
I'm trying.
we run into a lot of our pals and stuff, and most artists, because it takes a lot of time. You know this. It takes a lot of time to do all the background stuff.
Yeah.
Most people just do the character and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Been there.
But it's good that you're able to take all that detail into the background. Because even this, with the white background on it, there's so
Mhm.
much detail here.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun. I don't know. There's something about like I'm a huge like what's the name, like vigilantes, and like I love the villains a lot more than I do the heroes.
Spencer, look, you found someone that could do that villain work.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, yeah, Spencer, you find your villain guy.
perfect.
I have to
The
say, like, I'm looking at this. I'm a big noir guy. I love telling noir stories, and
Mhm.
I'm looking at your stuff, going, dude, man, I can just see some of my stories with your art, and I'm like, ooh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Again,
And your Batman, you can, most people do Batman a certain way, but you got that gritty Batman, that noir Batman, that Chuck Dixon Batman.
Thank
again,
you.
I love the transition between like how you put the original Joker with the colors right there in the background, right behind
Yeah,
the
Mhm.
Batman who laughs, and you kept that black and white. A lot of times we're always trying to focus on a focal point, but this has a lot of focal points to it
yeah,
because you have
Yeah.
just this beautiful mesh of color in black and white right there for the characters.
Yeah. I gotta say, a lot of that I just learned in art school was like having the eye travel across the page. Like even with like
it
the
does.
ha ha ha, like the letters, like having it in an S motion so that way like our eyes like go from the top to the bottom and left to right. So I don't know, it's like there's so much technical stuff that goes into drawing that I'm learning just now, and I'm like, oh wow, I did not know that.
There's some fun stuff. So like if you look at some of the old Judge Dredd or Metropolis, it was Cosmopolitan, I believe that was the comic, right, Ralph? That the artist, it was like Spider Jerusalem was the main character for it.
Okay, yeah. Hmm.
So it's like the artists for like those books, they did a lot of stuff with the background to keep people's eyes like focused on a lot of different things. Another artist who did some great stuff was the original artist behind Berserk. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but there was so much detail in the
Oh,
panels.
Kentaro Miura? Yeah, he passed
Yeah,
away. Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah. Oh, but he's brilliant.
beautiful work with it's just like and I see that you're getting errors and just with starting and just looking at this image and playing with that, and with your Great Gatsby image, you definitely I'm looking forward to seeing more of your work as
Yeah.
you start to evolve even more as an artist, and it's just like I'm blown away.
I gotta
Thank you.
say, Kay, that I love the fact that you're doing the lettering as part of the art, because I feel like a lot of artists have lost that,
Mhm.
and I feel like comic book art is about that lettering that comes with the comic
Oh
book.
yeah.
you
Mhm.
know, and it's that classic pow, bing, bang of Batman. They did it the 60 cheesy way, but it's comic books. It is.
Mhm.
It's it's comics.
Yeah.
So I got a question for you. So and again, I'm always a firm believer. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can be young, you can be old. You always have something to learn from someone. Um, as an artist, when you run into, let's say, we'll call it an art block. Sometimes it's like you're trying to figure out how do you get out of that funk to get right back into the piece, or just like to progress forward with your art.
I'm not gonna lie to you, like that's like half of my life struggles is trying to figure out how the heck do I get out of this. Like a huge part of it is just music. Like music is like downright like my biggest motivation, my biggest inspiration. So even if it's just like sitting there and blasting like some rock music or some like depressing country music, like whatever it takes to get me into some kind of mood to feel something, because then it's either you lack the emotion in the moment to draw something, or the what you're drawing is just not working. And when that happens, I'm like, my dad has to remind me, just take a step back. Take a step back. Don't look at the image, because the more you look at an image and the more you get frustrated into it and try to draw it and fix it, you're letting all that frustration onto the image, and your penmanship and your line marks. It shows through when you're frustrated with your drawings. So I like a lot of my advice that comes with having art block is just let it sit there. Take the break, take the breather, stop looking at your art piece, and then find something else that like motivates you. Find something else that sparks up your creativity, whether that be music, reading, watching TV, whatever it takes to relax. Because a lot of the art block is because you're stressed out of your mind. So relaxing, looking at a lot of other art pieces. Like I love experimenting with my art, and that's how I came across. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Art Germ.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's phenomenal.
That's how I came across him, and I was like, oh, like I want to try anime-ish realistic art, and I tried that. If I want to try something cartoony, try that. So I think art block gives us an opportunity to be okay with the fact that we're gonna mess up sometimes, but also just to give us a chance to relax and possibly like try to find something new.
Ooh,
Wow.
beautiful.
Thank you. But yeah, I was really I'm a huge book nerd, and so I go to the library often, and I pulled out like a bunch of like Black Panther books, and then I just took like all like the faces that I liked and just started drawing them in my sketchbook.
Yeah,
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Gundam, hey. Sulera, hey. I'm the only Gundam guy on the show.
I'm sorry. I'm all Gundam Wing. Anything before or after that doesn't exist. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Sorry,
wow.
Well, they all exist. Well, if you watch Turn A, they all exist. They all exist in the timeline. They're just millions of years apart. It's all connected, man. It's all connected, man. And they're like they destroyed the Gundams at the end of Gundam Wing anyway, so there's nowhere to go.
There's
nowhere to go.
taking the red pill.
They said we're not gonna
right
fight. I mean, they destroyed their Gundams. That's it. You gotta watch something else. They achieved peace. They won.
There was no war in Bossing saying.
Yeah. No, they have. You know how it is. They have books and stuff. It continues. Like war never ends.
It's very beautiful right there too. That looks like something out for like a playing card.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Actually, so at Garden State Comic Fest, I met another artist. He goes by Kodak Collage, I think, but he does collages and he takes like comic book covers and then like little like. So after the show ended, he stopped by my table and he bought like 5 of my pieces to do collages with, and that's one of them. So yeah, if you went on his page, he has it posted there. But yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Oh, if you send me the link, I can go to the page.
I can find it.
You get no link, Ralph.
I always have link. Oh wait, wrong link. Okay. Link is always with me.
And silent.
Silent.
Breaking vases. Damn you, Link.
Yes, folks, we're geeks here. What do you want? Dude, this stuff is just like wow.
See, Ralph, I know why you invited me on the show today, Ralph. You want me to go crawl back in a hole. You got a great Kickstarter, Spencer. Come and get a great Kickstarter. You have a phenomenal ass. Now I'm gonna go crawl back in the hole and bury all my stuff. That's it. No, but you guys are phenomenal. I'm loving the board game. I'm loving from what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, and I'm loving the artwork. And again, I want to congratulate you both. This is phenomenal work and all that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Totoro.
And it's one of the things that we like about here at which is what I'm always looking at, because you can find people that are just selling stuff, but the people that actually are pouring their passion into their projects, like Spencer, dude, I can feel the passion for you and your pals on this project. You can feel the D&D-ness.
Yeah.
You can feel this group of guys coming together and going, dude, we can do this.
And it's been an incredible journey so far, and it's not even close to being over. We want to keep doing it and keep doing it. And we're all just so excited about this and passionate.
Oh, you can feel it, and I think that's why you're doing so well is because people look for that. They look for that passion. They look for that, want people to. I don't know, when I'm looking at stuff, when I'm especially for on the show, I'm usually walking around, and then whatever catches my eye, I'll go to. But there'll be times where somebody wants to catch my eye, and I'm like, okay, you got 5 minutes, go for it.
Mhm.
But that stands out though, because especially I know that you guys all go to conventions. We've seen what happens with the guy on the table going, either you have the guy going,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
you
the
go
cell
talk
phone
to
guy.
him.
The cell phone guy, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
and like, yeah, that's my stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm trying to like ask you questions here.
I guess I'm not gonna buy your art then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best of, again. It's like I remember doing when it used to be around, which was Great Philly Comic Con,
Oh, I
and there
love
was a
that
guy
one.
sitting
Yeah.
next to me, and he was on his cell phone throughout the 3 days at the show.
That's crazy.
Did not engage anybody. I'm like, dude, your work looks much more better than mine. I not to toot my own horn, but I did outsell the guy because I was like, part of the conventions is having a conversation with people, not selling, just conversation. People buy who you are. And it's like, if you're going to sit there on your cell phone all day, it's like, why did you pay that money for that table? You could have just paid 1 day admissions and you'd be good. But no, you're going to spend.
To be fair, like not everybody's a salesman. Not everybody, people are shy.
Well, that's
whatever.
why you do what Kessler did.
But if you can't do it, have someone with you that can at least.
There you go. You get the hype man.
That can,
You get see Tony at the table. Ralph is his booth babe, and there you go.
Oh yeah, Ralph can sell anything. I'll be like,
yeah. For me, it's like let Ralph loose.
Yeah. It's like what I do on the show. It's like what I do on the show. Let Ralph do all that stuff. I'm like, hey,
I see you, Tony. Don't worry.
So Gage is like her, Eric, and Ariel are awesome too.
Oh, thank you.
We also have Northern Wind. Speaking of great comic guys and somebody who actually sells really well at their table, Northern Wind. Paul does a great job. He'll catch your attention. He'll get you over, and he does some beautiful work. And Tate says you need to invest at least as much energy as you want people to react with. Yep.
You gotta be that hot dog guy at the corner. Let me talk to you about my wiener. Right back.
Don't make me
Get my
hungry.
hot dog. Gage says, and people go to conventions to talk to you, to see your passion, to hear you talk about your work, and they do. They completely do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're talking about McFarlane before, like just talk about a salesman, man. Just talk about a guy who just sit there and sell you the Brooklyn Bridge if you let him. Just talk about a salesman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
See, what I loved about McFarlane, he's a great example of an artist but the greatest thing is that he wasn't just an artist. And one of the things I remember took to heart was someone who said, you're going to learn art always, but also learn the business side of things, which is like what we're saying. Don't stay on your cell phone because you're always going to grow as an artist. But if you don't learn the business side of things, you're going to fizzle out. McFarlane was a prime example of those guys that went to Image. He learned the business side, and there's a reason he had a toy line, a popular movie. Why Spawn is still going on the way it's going on right now. He focused on a lot of that stuff, and to this day, you speak to him, the guy's still having fun doing it.
I mean, he's a guy that just basically could just hone in on it's like you have to hone in on what like people want and stuff, and just give them what they want, and then I told a story in the show before, but I know who watched everybody. So, anyway. But
I want to hug Tony.
Does everybody here met Todd McFarlane except for me?
Oh,
yeah.
So then, anyway,
come on. I gotta get some more.
But his story he tells us like he was like the first to because this figure line he was like the first to make figures a lot like anime figures to make the figures look like how they're supposed to.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you remember when we were kids, we had some of our G.I. Joes were terrible. You ever seen that Lady J figure?
No, he evolved.
Some of our figures are horrible.
Man.
And when they asked him,
that's exactly what they used to be like. Go ahead, show it. That's exactly what they used to be like.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Iron Man. And then you get like super detailed Spawn with like ripped muscles and
yeah.
Oh man, I had one of those.
I got the best figure ever. Yeah. It's damn, I gotta turn off my I gotta turn off my Oh wait, damn, Ralph, don't give me a second, bro. Damn, you put me on the spot already. Jesus. So I got the best figure ever. It's by Shadow Rabbit. It customized.
Shadow.
There you go. Love you, Shadow. See, look, you got a Shadow Rabbit reference. See, got a Shadow Rabbit reference. He's not even on the show tonight.
Shadow Rabbit is the man. He does beautiful work, as you saw from Sebastian right there. He actually makes everything in clay by hand.
Yeah. So I was gonna say about McFarlane is when people would interview him and ask him, was like, "Oh, yo, why do your figures look so good?" And he was like, "There's this new invention called a camera. You take a picture of what you want to make a figure out of, and then there's other new invention called clay. You take the clay, you mold it, you keep molding it and molding it and molding it until it looks like the thing you took a picture of." It is true. It is that simple, but it took. You'd be surprised how long it took people just to figure this out. I mean,
Yeah.
And his work ethic is phenomenal because Kalei, you mentioned you saw one of his interviews and everything. I remember that was something I saw from one of his interviews too, a while back, when he said that what he used to do, he worked above in his garage, and he would tell his family, between this time and this time, I am working. Because I know for a lot of people, he was like, yeah, working from home. A lot of people would be like, yeah, they would let a lot of distractions. So he was really blocking out a lot of his distractions and everything. It was always great advice. And it was always fun seeing those videos with Todd McFarlane. The funniest one is Todd McFarlane, and I think it's Rob Left Field when Stan Lee was picking on him. I think that was the funniest video.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's the one where Rob was like, "Wait, you guys draw the head first?"
Just to show off Shadow Rabbit, because he did this beautiful dragon, and it is the year of the dragon. But look at this thing; it is just epic.
It's crazy. You made that by hand?
Yeah.
Whoa, that Shadow's amazing.
Shadow Rabbit is amazing.
Oh, wow.
And he's usually on the show, but he's been busy lately.
He's a phenomenal guy. So if you ever looking to commission a piece from him, he puts a lot of love and labor into it. And again, it's one of those people you meet at a convention. He's always fun, cheery, always ready to speak to people. And again, shout out to Shadow Rabbit.
Isn't that cool?
Hell yeah.
See, are you giving ones?
I'm gonna put that as a weapon, and we can be heroes. You're getting D20.
You should, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Blake, you want that Nats one, or you want the Nats one? You give it to me.
What do you call that? Critical hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're geeks. Yeah, folks, Shadow Rabbit is amazing. Go check him out. He just put Shadow Rabbit in on Instagram. You'll find him like that. All right, folks. So this is the part of the show where you repeat what you just said in a faster spiel-like state, so people know where to find you and all the good stuff.
Elevator pitch time.
All right, I'll go as fast as possible. So We Can Be Heroes, superhero tabletop RPG, fun, fast, and explosive. You can just search us on Kickstarter, We Can Be Heroes, and back us if you like what you see.
Woo!
Hey, look at that. Oh, that was convenient. Super cool. All right. leave it at that.
All right. My name's Kalei Ann. I'm a comic book artist. I could do anime, portraits, whatever you like. You can find me on Instagram at Art of Kalei Ann. If you like what you see, DM me. I do commissions. I also catch me at Fanfare in April 6th to 7th at a convention in Manhattan. I'll be there.
Oh, Fanfare is always amazing. Folks, go head out to Fanfare. It is in art and design. It is a great place to see up and coming talent, just like Kalei right here. And I love the school. It does that, and of course, I'm partial because my brother went to that school, and Tony went to that school.
Yeah, I went to school. Yeah. Then I went into corporate America, but but I did go.
Go ahead, Sebastian. Do your thing.
Me? My thing? What's my thing? Oh, I know what my thing is. You guys can catch me. You guys can catch me at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday nights over at Nerds of the Round podcast, where we talk geek. You can find all my stuff at SebastianBonet.com. Website's going to be updated soon. Great news. Concrete Combat, the comic that I've been working on, my labor of love, issue 2 has been sent to George for lettering. Woo! You can catch it on my Patreon. The digital version for Concrete Combat issue 1 is on my Patreon, along with Dungeon Runners, which is a prequel to Concrete Combat. Yeah, Ralph, I got 2 comics done. Woohoo, 3 if you're counting. I will be at CradleCon this year. So CradleCon on May 18th and 19th. You will see me at CradleCon. Yes, returning back to the convention scene after what? Woo! Last convention was 2019. Oh my God, I've been in a cave. And then finally, yeah, free, beautiful. Concrete Combat issue 3 is actually being worked on. 11 pages have been inked already. So go to the Patreon page and you can catch me on the Medusa's Cascade podcast, a D&D podcast where everything goes wrong. I play a fun, lovable bastard by the name of Kyver. Yes, I'm a fun, lovable bastard. And there you go. That is all me.
Dude, that was good.
Lots of practice and getting yelled at.
Believe me, I know the feel. All right, let's see what we got up here. We showed up Lewis. Showed off Sebastian. Our friend Jerry. Our friend Jerry is having his Kickstarter is near the end over here. He's already funded. He's at 2,779, 97 backers, 37 hours to go. So this is the time to support him. And dude, this thing looks like a freaking Saturday morning cartoon.
I love the name, the Grizzly Crew.
And this is him and his son working together.
No.
They've put this together. Him and his son has put this together. It's beautiful. It's fun. It's imaginative. Go check out the Grizzly Crew. Lots of fun. And let's see, of course, next week we have Dirk Manning himself here talking about Homestead, which is a Native American Western werewolf graphic novel. And of course, Dirk will be here next week to talk about all the beautiful details. And he can tell you himself all the nitty-gritty bits and pieces. If you like horror, Dirk Manning is the man to see.
Speaking of salesman, man, I remember at his convention, I just went up to him to say hi. Next thing you know, I'm buying a $20 book. I'm like, what?
Exactly. If you guys want to see salesmanship, go talk to Dirk Manning and you leave with 2 books.
Avoid his table, man. Got me buying stuff. Took my wallet.
Dude, I went by his table. Next thing I know, I was working the table.
Yeah, you gotta love Dirk.
Dirk is awesome, man. And a great writer.
Amazing.
Too. And whatever you pick up, man, is worth it, man. He's great.
Whatever you pick up from the table you're leaving with.
Of course, the lovely Kadma, who is usually part of the Bitten Apple, has her own stories to tell on Vocal. So go check her out on Vocal. She's put up her latest story there. And yours truly as well, Mr. Written Ralph, has his stuff on Vocal too. So go check it out. And the way Vocal works is the more people read it, the more money we get. So you don't even have to do anything except to go and read it.
You getting paid for this, Ralph? Wasn't I contacted?
Vocal? Dude, you guys should do Vocal. Vocal works where you put up your story, and the more views it gets, the more money you get. Is that everything? I feel like I'm missing something.
I'm doing a type up tomorrow, so.
Oh, there you go. Go Tony.
Yeah, it's already written, so it'll be up. Just I'm gonna talk about last few things I read. This is short. I think it's like Dragon Ball Super and like 2 comic books. It's short, but even though it's short, I ramble on and on and on. So it'll get late. So it's Tuesday type up. It'll be on tomorrow on the Facebook page and then on my page. So.
And of course, if you like Tony's sense of humor here on the show, wait till you read his stuff because it's much funnier than he is on the show.
I live for Tony's post. I know. I already know. Whenever I see, I was like, "That's Tony's post." Tony,
dude, that's just pure comedy, man. I love his interjections. I love how he explains things.
Phil says every time, like when he sees his notification that I posted something, he's like, "Oh no!" It's like, it's gonna be funny or it's gonna be wild or whatever. You never know what you're gonna get. So.
I like when you're on a rant. That's when it's the funny. All right, folks. Do you got anything else to throw there or add? Go for it.
Chirp, 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 chirp. No, we're gonna be talking Echo tomorrow. So whoever wants to join in that conversation, so we're gonna geek out and we're gonna talk about Echo. So hopefully we're pleased with that one.
I feel like Tony has stuff to say.
As long as you saw it, Tony, I will take the opinion. But if you haven't, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be waiting in the back with a baseball bat.
No. Tony sees it, and then he lets it have it.
Kingpin was good. There you go. I can say something bad.
So it has good, it has its bad, it has its ugly, but like I said, it wasn't bad about the show.
And it's nice that they finally made the Netflix stuff like canon. Finally,
Yeah.
Should have done from the beginning. So that's good. So it's not all.
I think they were waiting to see where they were going to fit it in, and with it hitting the run that it did, with Vince D'Onofrio as Kingpin and Hawkeye, with Matt Murdock returning in Spider-Man. I think they were waiting. And I gotta say this, and I'll say this about Marvel's movie studios, that they're actually really paying attention for them to delay everything like they did. It's a great thing that they're paying attention to everything, and actually delaying stuff, changing stuff, because it's always changing in this landscape. I have my whole opinion on that. We'll hold off. I'll say that for another time, but
that's like another hour.
Yeah, another hour. That's it.
So now you guys gave me enough time to remember what I was forgetting. Right Wars, folks. Come on. You guys
damn, I thought I was out of here already.
You guys gotta go support this thing. Right Wars. Dude, if you're looking as a writer to improve your writing skills and have fun, a video game to play with, Right Wars is this is a battle one sentence at a time. Everybody puts their sentence in, and then you all vote on what's the best sentence. And if you win, you get your points, and you get a good story. And these guys are on Kickstarter right now, Right Wars. Dude, I gotta say, I'm a VIP. I can't wait to jump into the game and see how this thing is gonna go. But these guys have my attention. Folks are always asking me, Ralph, I want to do writing, but they can't figure out how to do it. This would be a way for you to have fun and get some writing done.
It's an awesome looking concept.
Dude, it's amazing.
So is it like collaborative storytelling?
Yeah.
Like through a game interface?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Wow. It's a video game. You have I think it's 5 to 6 people, and they're competing on who has the best sentence, and then they vote on the best sentence and that's what the sentence that continues the story.
That's amazing. I'm gonna send that to a few writer friends.
I already have chaos building in my head already. For those who don't know, if you play Dungeons and Dragons, yes, I am a chaotic character, and I will bring chaos your way.
Chaos. Rules.
Chaos is fun. Come on. Who wants to be the good guy? You could be the chaotic guy.
I always say the same thing. As long as you're not destroying the game, then chaos is great.
Isn't that what Nat tries to do, or tries to break the game?
It was time we broke someone's game, but they challenged us to do it, so it was fair. It was a fair game.
That's different, though. All right, folks, there you have it. This has been Apple Bites. Go check out Kalei. Go check out Spencer. Go be a hero. Dude, who doesn't want to be a hero? Of course, Sebastian, Nerds of the Round, and Tony's type-ups. Bit and Apple tomorrow will be there. And, of course, on this show, I do all the meandering, but it always ends the same way.
I can't see you anymore, Ralph. Where are you?
I'm guessing you decided to be Nat today.
You invited me on the show. I told you I'm going to bring some chaos.
Well, you fit right in, don't you? book public